Up to roughly 1 in 6 children in the general population shows troublesome sound intolerance. Just let that sink in for a second. If you've ever seen a child absolutely freeze, cover their ears in sheer panic, or just completely break down in tears when a loud, unexpected noise hits, you are looking at a highly prevalent neurological response, not just them acting out. And when we look at autistic children, those numbers are even more striking. Current estimates show that around 41% experience hyperacusis. This completely validates the absolute terror parents witness during unexpected loud noises. This isn't just some little quirk. It's a really profound sensory reality for millions of families out there. So welcome to this explainer. Today, we are focusing on parents of children ages 3 to 12 who are dealing with one of the most intense daily disruptions, the total dread of smoke alarms, and fire drills. We're going to look at actionable, calm, and validating science for you, guided by our core practical mantra. Don't calm down, conquer. We are going to turn that anxiety right into empowerment. Now, I want to be completely straight with you right out of the gate. There is currently no dedicated peer-reviewed clinical study solely focusing on pediatric fire alarm or fire drill fear. The exact specific research just isn't quite there yet. But hey, we aren't flying blind here. We're actually decoding this intense fear using the robust, well-documented science of decreased sound tolerance combined with proven models of specific phobias. Section 1, the sound tolerance science. Let's dive into this science so we can understand exactly what is happening inside your child's nervous system. The foundation of all this is decreased sound tolerance, or DST. It's a scientifically recognized umbrella term, and it covers conditions where everyday sounds cause significant distress, impairment, or literal physical pain. Breaking this concept down is absolutely the key to unlocking your child's fear, because, as it turns out, not all sound intolerance is exactly the same. Section 2, hyperacusis versus phonophobia. To truly understand that sheer dread your child might feel before a scheduled fire drill, we have to clearly distinguish between two very specific conditions. On one side, we've got hyperacusis. This means the alarm physically hurts the ears. It is a painful reaction to the actual physical characteristics of the sound. On the flip side is phonophobia. In the audiology world, this is defined as the intense anticipatory anxiety of an expected loud sound. So it's the emotional fear that a sound will occur, mostly because the child can't predict or control when it's going to happen. And for most kids who are terrified of fire drills, their reality is a combination of the two. Fire alarm fear is largely a blend of hyperacusis and phonophobia. This right here brilliantly illustrates why the waiting and the absolute agonizing dread leading up to a scheduled drill at school can actually be significantly worse for your child than the drill itself. They aren't just afraid of the noise hurting, they're obsessing over the unpredictable moment it's going to strike. Section 3, the fire drill playbook. Now that we've validated the problem and defined the mechanics, let's look at how we build a concrete, evidence-based playbook. You can actively empower your kid using 3 practical steps drawn straight from modified cognitive behavioral therapy. Step 1 is predictability. Simply ask the school for advance warning of drills to completely remove that phonophobic element of surprise. Step 2 is graduated exposure. Try playing a recorded fire alarm at home at a very, very low volume, framing it as a controllable event, and slowly raise it over time. And step 3 is intentionally fading out ear protection. Section 4, fading ear protection. What's really interesting here is this third step, because relying on noise-canceling headphones permanently can actually become a bit of a trap. See, it's a parent's instinct to immediately buy those headphones to protect their kids, right? But indefinite avoidance doesn't cure the sensitivity. To back this up, look at this fascinating 2024 clinical case study by Carson and colleagues. They worked with an 11-year-old autistic child who had severe hyperacusis. The study showed that pairing graduated sound exposure with the gradual intentional fading of noise-canceling headphones yielded highly successful, really measurable outcomes. The child saw vastly improved loudness discomfort levels and actually decreased their reliance on headphones in everyday situations. The researchers measured something called subjective units of distress, or SUDS. Before the treatment, the child rated their distress to triggering sounds at a really high 9 out of 10. But after systematically confronting the sound and gently fading the headphones, that distress absolutely plummeted to a highly manageable 4. So the massive takeaway here is that by gently confronting the sound rather than indefinitely blocking it out, a child's subjective distress can drop dramatically. Section 5, when to seek help.
As a parent, how do you know when this specific playbook just isn't quite enough? The science gives us a pretty clear boundary to watch out for. If your child's sound sensitivity is extremely intense and pervasive across lots of different environments, say it's affecting their sleep, or going to the grocery store, or taking part in family events, it really crosses the line from a specific fear to a broader sensory processing or autism profile. And if that's the case, it is absolutely worth assessing with a professional, like an audiologist or an occupational therapist.
To really put these tools into action, tools like the Fear Me Not app can be incredible. It helps kids climb a gentle bravery ladder toward sounds that used to completely overwhelm them using exactly the graduated exposure techniques we've talked about today. So, by applying these strategies, we really have to ask ourselves, what other everyday childhood challenges could we conquer by shifting our parenting focus away from just avoidance and towards structured scientific empowerment?